Hey, what's up, everybody? Starting the show off a little different this week. Um, just wanted to kind of talk to everybody. You guys are like family to us. You know, the wrestling community, as lack of a better term, interesting folk that we are. Um, there's one thing, no matter what, no matter the bickering, no matter the tribalism, we always come together as a family. Um, this past week has been kind of hard. You know, just got some things going on uh, behind the scenes that have been hard. But, you know, with every struggle, every storm, no matter how hard things are, we just have to hold on to certain things that give us that comfort, that give us that strength, that give us that motivation. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions. Sometimes you have to make decisions that people don't think is popular, but you have to be able to live with you. Um, I- there's there's going to be times in your life where you're just going to have to say to yourself, sometimes getting up and hell, even taking a shower is the most you can do for that day, and that's fine. Sometimes it's a little more for you to look in the mirror and say, I did enough today. um, I don't want to start off all gloom and doom, but the reason why I wanted to talk about it on this show is because with everything that's been going on, uh, there's been one constant. When we had our previous show, the reason why I kind of stepped away is that I had some stuff happen in my family. My dad got real sick to the point where he probably shouldn't be here with us. Thank goodness, thank God he is still with us. And then right after, my youngest son got really sick. And now this past week, I had some stuff happen again that really kind of, shook me. But again, there's always been a constant, besides my faith. The other constant has been wrestling. When I went through all that stuff with my dad and my son last year, even though I had to step away from the podcasts, wrestling was always there. As much as we complain about it, as much as we like to armchair quarterback things and talk about who's not getting pushed and try to use all the cool little jargon that we learned online, the fact of the matter is the reason why we do this show, that you listen to this show, is that we love wrestling. And it provides us that escape. Say what you want about Vince McMahon. One of the things that he always says that we're in the business of putting smiles on people's faces. And sometimes in adversity, I need to sit down and watch men and women in tights beat each other up for however long that is, because that's my happy place. Um, my wonderful co-host did me a wonderful, wonderful gesture. Um, he bought me a ticket to, go to Monday Night Raw. My birthday was a couple weeks ago, and it was right after, my situation happened, and it was the first time that I just got to sit and just kind of escape for a while, you know, and it was what I needed. It was good for my soul. I told him last week I couldn't record, but this week SummerSlam is happening. You know, Sometimes when life gets overwhelming, you kind of forget there are things that you should be grateful for. There are things that remind you of how important things are in life. And sometimes when you don't feel that good about yourself, it reminds you of why you're important, why you matter. You know, with everything going on, randomly I got a message from a wonderful listener, Ashley, saying that, she hadn't watched wrestling in years. She discovered our podcast and she said she's a big fan and she wanted to know, are we doing our SummerSlam prediction? And it was like, wow, with everything going on, you wanted to know about our SummerSlam prediction. And that made my day. You know, she took time out of her day to message me and even ask me my opinion on what I think is going to happen. And that just shows like how large the reach is for wrestling and even what we do. So I definitely wanted to shout her out for that. Sitting at Raw on Monday for those 3 hours, even though people were behind me were talking nonstop, and it was fun. And it reminded me of, outside of my children, what my love is, and that's wrestling. And with everything that's happened in this week, I realized that I forgot what my dreams are and why I am important and why I matter. And sitting there for those 3 hours gave me some time not only to escape, but to think. And whoever's out there going through something, you're going to get through the other side. It sounds campy. It sounds very Tony Robbins. Look it up if you don't know, for the younger generation. But it's true. People wouldn't keep saying it if it wasn't true. With that being said, again, I just want to thank everybody who's listening. I want to thank everybody who's been supportive. We're going to keep giving you our all. We're going to keep talking about the industry that we love. And feel free, if you're going through a hard time, reach out to us. You don't have to tell us everything if you don't want to. If you just want to sit and talk wrestling, always, always, just don't ever let those storms in your life take you so far over the edge where you feel like you can't come back. Because you will. No matter what decision you make, popular or unpopular, live your life for you. Be kind to other people, forgive, and just be good to each other. Don't lose yourself in this thing we call life. You only get one, as far as I know. You only get one. And just enjoy the show. Enjoy what we got going on. Don't worry about 5-star ratings. There's no 5-star ratings in life, so don't worry about the ones in this wonderful, wacky world of wrestling that we love so much. So like I said, with that being said, thank you for listening to me pour my heart out for you guys. I promise that I'll go back to my effervescent self. Again, shout out to Ashley for sending that message. It really made my day. And this show's dedicated to you, because if people like you, that's why we do what we do. So with that being said, enough of the mush. I'm not good at that stuff anyway. Welcome to episode of Ring Champs. Drop our music. Let's go.
Let me introduce your host, Bino. It's Sasha the Legit King.
It's the start of the show, time to walk through the smoke. When I enter the ring, I jump over the ropes. I feel like Mysterio, I ain't no joke. Titles, I held them both, call me Chris Jericho. Time to cash in my money in the bank. Just like Sheamus when he beat Roman Reigns. Leave me in the cage, like Undertaker when he met Kane. I don't play games, I'm no Triple H. The crowd screaming, you rock like my name's Dwayne. The crowd screaming, you suck like you're Kurt Angle. In the ring, I'm the boss just like Sasha Banks. So you'll get whipped like the intro from Sable. King of my stable, don't matter the label. Smackdown or Raw, you get put through a table. Pushed off a ladder or choked with a cable. Throw me a chair, I'ma give him a facial. It's the start of the show, time to walk through the smoke. When I enter the ring, I jump over the ropes.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. This is episode 8 of Ring Champs with your boy Just Fino, and of course my co-host, the one and only Sasha, the legit. I got a new name for you, Sasha.
You have a new name for me?
You're gonna be known now as Sasha Monet. Let's go.
Get out of here.
Sasha Monet.
Let's not confuse the viewers. I'll still be Sasha King. Don't want to confuse the viewers.
Nah,
no,
this is
you.
Sasha, the legit King. Sasha. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Glad everybody's listening to us. We've missed you. And this is going to be a great show. This is a great weekend. This is a huge week for us wrestling fans. It's SummerSlam. We got a lot going on, so I'm
The
excited.
second biggest party of the summer after my
What's,
birthday, of
I was
course.
about to say, what's the first?
After my birthday, August 23rd. R.I.P. Kobe. We share the same birthday. You know what it is. But now, for real, this is the biggest party of the summer. SummerSlam weekend is upon us. I can't. Oh, man, I love SummerSlam. Yo, shout out to the WWE real quick because they have been showing on YouTube just a loop of like the best SummerSlam matches and stuff like that. And it's bringing back so many memories. So many SummerSlam memories. I love SummerSlam. And we're going to get into SummerSlam today. Of course, we're going to give our predictions of what's going to happen at the show. Are we going to have some surprises? Are we going to have new champions? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it later. We also got to give a shout out to AEW real quick. Because AEW, not only did they sell over 80,000 tickets to All In at Wembley Stadium, but they also just reached episode 200 of Dynamite. So shout out to AEW. We got to make sure we give love to them on this SummerSlam weekend. It's okay, you know, being the secondary show, the secondary promotion, as Triple H called it. Shout out to Trust for that. But this is a hell of a week, hell of a upcoming weekend. I believe there's 8 matches on the card of SummerSlam. Let me just double check myself. I wrote my notes, but I forgot. Yeah, 8 matches. We're gonna talk about each and every one, give predictions, give our thoughts, a little bit of what the future beholds after SummerSlam. I mean, we just got a lot. We got a lot to talk about, Sasha. I can't wait to get into it. So before we talk about that, is there anything, any news or anything that you would like to talk about, bring up to the show?
Well, I did have something to do on Monday night, last Monday. For once, I had a life and I had something to do. I went to Monday Night Raw thanks to my favorite co-host and yours, Fino. Thank you so much for my birthday gift.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Raw rolled into Houston and your girl was there. It was at the Toyota Center, as most of you know if you watched. And it was fun. Like I was trying to remember the last time I went to a WWE show and I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a good while. And two, because it was like unexpected, it was even more of a treat. Like, oh, I got somewhere to go on Monday. Awesome. So yeah, I beat Houston traffic. If you live in Houston, because the show starts at 6:30, if you live in Houston, then you know the fact that I was able to make it and not miss a single moment of action in that Houston traffic between the hours of like 5 and 6:30. That was a miracle in and itself. So shout out to the traffic gods for being with me that day. Pulled up. Yeah, I know. I pulled up. I saw the trucks. I took pictures of the trucks, and I know I sent you a text message with that. Super easy to get in. Everything was, really easy. I did miss main event. I caught the very tail end of the last match. It was Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. And surprisingly, Bronson Reed won. I was surprised because, like I said,
what?
Yeah, it was Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed won.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, it's a little surprising considering, like, not to say, like, Bronson Reed isn't a good wrestler. It's just Bobby Lashley's been, on screen doing some kind of reformation of the Hurt Business, it looks like. So to see him on main event lose is kind of interesting. But there's definitely some little differences since I've been to a show. Shout out to Samantha Irving. She is really good at what she does outside of the ring announcing, in between like commercial breaks. Now they have things like the DX cam. They have the
Yeah.
You Can't See Me cam, the Sign of the Night. So
Yeah.
she's singing the DX theme song along with the track. She's reading the Signs of the Night. She just has a good energy and it keeps the crowd going on commercial breaks and things like that. So shout out to her. She's really good at what she does. Like I said, that was like a difference. Not to say anything, they weren't good before, but I noticed the difference um, in between the commercial breaks and things like that. Houston, I mean, it looked a sellout. The Toyota Center is not a small place. It was packed with people, like packed. So WWE, I mean, doing big things. Business is good. Like I said, Houston is a hot market for it to be. School is about to start. Again, that traffic is gnarly. People came out. People were ready for this. And of course, the first thing I heard when I sat down was somebody screaming about LA Knight, knowing that he wasn't going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Trust him, Dad. That's the first thing I heard. Trust and believe. That's what I heard. Um,
Let me talk to you.
yes. Everybody was. I think it was LA Knight. People were super excited about, and then I think I texted you and said Houston loves Cody Rhodes, and they do. Like, say what you will about Cody. I think we talked about it on the show before. Cody not finishing the story. I think the way Cody's story going now is perfect than if he had won at WrestleMania because the people are behind him. They love Cody Rhodes. They love Brock Lesnar too. Don't get me wrong, because some people were like chanting, one more time the F5.
One more time. Yep.
I mean, that's because we're bloodthirsty savages here in the H, but that's our problem.
You had a big show, though. I mean, you had Brock Lesnar in the building. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you got Cody. You had Seth. You had Senor Money in the Bank.
That's why I was there. Yes, sir.
You had a lot of Dominic Mysterio in the building.
Man, speaking of that, so like I said, people love Cody. They love Brock. They love Seth. They love Sammy. When it comes to like people they didn't like, obviously Dominic Mysterio was number one. However, we also have to acknowledge the genius that is Trish Stratus with that little crack about the Astros cheating.
Thank you, Trish.
Because what y'all heard on TV was nothing compared to what the noise that they made in the arena when she said that. People were pissed.
Hey, it's not my fault. It's true.
I'm not a baseball fan, but I know my city. They love their Astros. So when she said that, Lord, I was looking for Dominic because they were booing this woman. So shout out to Trish. Man, if I had to put heat of the night, it was Dominic, but a very, very close second was Trish. Like,
well, I'm very close about another person because you had another big name in the building. My boy Logan Paul was in the building. How was his reaction?
Yeah, I mean I would put him on third. Like I said, if Trish hadn't made that comment, Logan Paul would have been second when it came to booze. But yeah, Trish took that away from him. If anything, Logan, he should have asked her because she wanted the smoke that night. But yeah, Logan, I mean, he got, people were definitely, they don't like him, obviously. But I think that's also good for Ricochet. I know we were talking a couple episodes back about how we wish they were doing more of Ricochet. This is the perfect view for him. This is good, and
I definitely agree on that because Ricochet is starting to get the love and respect that he finally deserves. He's getting the crowd behind him. They're using Logan Paul to get the crowd behind Ricochet, and I gotta say, like, definitely a smart move by Trips. I love every second of that for sure. It was definitely a great. I can't believe.
Yep. And even when he brought Samantha into it, I thought he was going to say something else, but it might have been a little too inappropriate. But what he said is fine. But bringing Samantha into it was something I didn't expect. So that was a nice little add a little personal flavor to the story, which I think they would help too. So shout out to Logan Paul and Ricochet for that.
Good, good. Well, I'm glad you had fun at the show. Um, you know that is you deserve that time away to just remember what exactly it is you love in the world, and wrestling being one of those things, and you got to appreciate, and just being in the presence of your man, Senor Money in the Bank. I know was
Yes,
definitely a
sir.
great thing for you. So that is a great,
Oh
that's
yeah.
great to
Let me
hear.
say one more thing. So Judgment Day, I mean outside of Dom, um, even though Judgment Day is clearly a heel faction, the thirst for Rhea Ripley in Houston is very, very real.
Oh, I
Like
believe it.
the
Oh,
thirst.
trust me, I believe that.
It's like we standing outside in the Houston heat. And again, if you from Houston, you know it's hot as Hades out there. So it's like we standing outside and like mommy was a cold drink of water because the thirst was quite real. Um, yeah, they were. This lady behind me was like, she's so ripped. Like she was just like definitely girl crushing on her the whole time. It was crazy. And like you said, I was definitely there for Senior Money in the Bank. Boy, did not disappoint. I think I have pictures of like the truck, maybe of the ring, and then maybe the rest of my pictures are him. Who knows? I don't know. But I can't neither confirm nor deny. But yeah, Judgment Day were all over the show. I thought it was cool that Raquel came out, find there's somebody that can seemingly take her. So I'm looking forward to their eventual match. I thought it was going to be on the SummerSlam card, but then it makes sense that they're making us wait. So, but yeah, Judgment Day definitely all over the show. And then after the show concluded, uh, Seth Rollins had the crowd sing Sami Zayn's song, and then Sami turned around and had us sing Seth's song. So, and it was fun to do "Whoa" for the first time when Cody came out. So, yep, it was great.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear you had a great time. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, there was, I forgot, there was something that came out today. I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was today. Um, that it was ESPN dropped an interesting article today, and what they did was they named their top 30 wrestlers that are under the age of 30. So I'm just gonna give you the top 10, and then I'll mention some other names that are up here as well. Um, so number one was MJF. Number two, Rhea Ripley. Number three, we had Austin Theory. Number four was Vinkingo. Number five, Dirty Dom. Number six, Braun Breaker. Number seven, Carmelo Hayes. Eight was Konosuke Takeshita, as MJF would say.
Lord.
Number nine, Liv Morgan. And then number 10, Logan Paul. Other names that are on the list, you had Butch at 12, Wesley was at 14, you had Tony Storm at 16, Dragon Lee at 17. Let me see who else was on this list that you may know. Ilya Dragunov was at 26, which is way too low. Tyler Bate at 28, Daniel Garcia at 29.
So this is essentially a list to make me feel old as dirt. Very good.
Well, look, all these people are under 30. It's not under 20, it's under 30. A lot of them are like 26, 27. Like MJF is 26, I believe. Rhea Ripley's 26. No, MJF is 27. Rhea Ripley's only like 26. Theory's like 24, I think, or something like that. What do you think when you hear that list? Like, do you? I'm not asking you to rank it unless you want to, but like, what do you think of the names on that list? Like, is the future that bright? Like, because those are a lot of big names.
I mean, outside of the overwhelming feeling that I need Polygrip and the Life Alert bracelet with the amount of people on this list and how young they are, the future's definitely bright. I think, especially for someone like a Rhea Ripley, it's so crazy that she's only 26 and she's that good. And like I said, I don't watch AEW a lot, but when I saw MJ was number one, I was like, how old is he? I didn't realize he was. I think he's 27 actually. So
Yeah,
it's
he's
like,
27. Rhea Ripley's 26. Yep.
I mean, gosh, you got Braun Breaker, Wesley, who just came off a amazing North American Championship title run.
Yes.
Um, I agree with you. The future is definitely bright, and I think we're definitely going in the right direction because a lot of these people have had such mainstream exposure at a young age. So to
Yep.
think that a lot of people say that wrestlers don't peak until they're much older than a lot of these people on the list are. That's just think about how many more years. So I think the business is in good hands. I think with a lot of things people complain about, um, and I can only speak as like a true WWE fan. I think um, going forward we have like Triple H and HBK in charge. I think as these performers continue to grow, one thing that I really appreciate about them is like you could tell the confidence that they help instill in a lot of their talent. You know, I've heard interviews with Rhea Ripley, and she didn't sound as confident, but look where she is now. Like she's a completely different performer. And I think that has a lot to do with, not only gaining experience, but feeling like you have the room to grow creatively. And I think that with this regime change, it's giving them a lot of room to kind of discover who they are. So, you know, I'm excited. I think this list should be something you should be excited for. I don't think that people should take too much stock into who's ranked where.
Right.
To me, I'm just like take the numbers off and look at the list. Look
No,
at where we're
I
headed.
agree with that. I do agree with that because it's I mean, one of the names I'm looking at, Carmelo Hayes, like instantly, obviously, I'm thinking he should be higher. But at the end of the day, I mean, these all 10 of the top 10 people have been balling, and they've been doing their thing and they're killing it. So it's hard to it's really hard to argue where everyone is. I do like the fact though that MJF and Rhea Ripley were the top two at least. That's one thing I'm definitely happy for, because that's well deserved. MJF been dominating over at AEW. Rhea Ripley has just been a menace ever since she's just been a part of WWE, going back to her NXT days, NXT UK. First of all, she's the only person to be the world champion at NXT UK, NXT, and on the main roster. So, I mean, you got to give her mad respect and credit for that. I mean, she's just been killing the game. And every single person on this list, from 1 to 30, has a very, very bright future in the game. A lot of them already have been, killing it so far, but just their future. And we have at least all of them, hopefully have at least 10 plus years left in the game to kill it. And I can't wait to see it. I really can't. I'm a huge Carmelo Hayes fan. I love to see him in his future, and I'm gonna jump into that next because we just had NXT Great American Bash last Sunday, and his match against Ilya Dragunov, I put it at 5 stars. What a hell of a match that they had for the championship that Carmelo Hayes was able to win. But just a great fucking match, and he continues to just showing why he doesn't miss. Melo does not miss. And if he joins the main roster and he's up there with Bobby Lashley and the new Hurt Business, like that is a great position to be in, to be up there with him and Montez and just Bobby. It's the whole faction, man. I can't wait to see that coming to actually become a reality, because it hasn't really officially been one. They've been having these little segments and stuff like that where they're now going to be wearing suits and stuff like that. But it's a great bright future, like you said. I'm so excited.
Indeed.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's this time we jump into the party of the summer, the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam 2023, Detroit, Michigan. Okay, Ford Field. Sasha, oh my God. We got 8 matches on this card. I mean, first off, what is your opinion about the card? Just overall, or just the lead up into SummerSlam. How do you feel about the lead up to SummerSlam before we actually just jump into it?
I think the lead up of SummerSlam has been pretty damn close to what it needs to be. I don't want to say I don't like I hate using the word perfect, but it's been really, really good. Like I said, I'm very excited about it. Looking at the card, and again, this is a testament to, the environment that we're in right now. Looking at the card and who's on the card, and then you look at the people who aren't on the card. It's like there's big names who are not on the card, but that just, I mean, and for all intents and purposes, with them adding the battle royal, I mean, that'll kind of help things a little bit. But people who are not in like, you know, featured singles matches, or if you look at the card, I understand KO's out with an injury. The tag team titles weren't are not going to be up for grabs on the SummerSlam. So there's a lot of amazing talented people that aren't on the show, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this card is stacked. I don't think there's any match on here that I personally would say, I'm not at least somewhat curious to see. I wouldn't say that at all. As a matter of fact, when I was going through my picks today, some of them that I was looking at, I was like, I really sat there and watched my list, and I was like, man, I'm really not sure where that can go. So this is the best kind of show I feel like for us to preview, because so many implications going forward, so many interesting conversations. Like I said, I'm excited. I love there's only 8 matches. Um, I don't think anything more than that is necessary. Like I said, I know that they wanted to put more people on the card with the Battle Royal, but I think even if that wasn't on there, which I guess we could talk about later why we really feel that Battle Royal is on there, I felt like
Yeah.
that was the perfect amount. So kind of like a shout out to old school NXT. They had like 4 or 5 matches. Obviously, this is a little bit more because this is the main roster, but I feel like the matches that really needed the spotlight are on the card. That's exactly where they deserve to be. So I'm super excited. What about you?
No, I love the lead up. I think you said everything right. I mean, just going down the card, there isn't a match I don't want to see. Um, is even that's even the Ronda Rousey Shayna one. Like I'm interested in seeing. I really do want to see it. I love the video package they were doing
Yep.
with them having those like little interviews and talking about their past together. Like everything, every match on this card can be great, and they're gonna give them time. Uh, with only 8 matches on, usually SummerSlam runs about 4 hours, maybe a little bit more. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, honestly, that's you're basically you could possibly give each match like at least 20 something minutes, if not more. Even though some of these matches won't need it, but just saying, like, that's just great. You have that time to do what you want, and I think everyone's gonna have a moment to shine. This is going to be great. This is obviously going to be a great card, and I can't wait. Let's talk about. We just jump right into it. Okay, so let's talk about the. Now I don't know the order of the matches, so I'm just going to go into. I'm just going to pick a match, and we'll just talk about it from there. So let's start with the Battle Royal, the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal. So this match is sponsored by Slim Jim. WWE's definitely getting a lot of money for that.
R.I.P. Randy Savage.
Yes. Uh, but for sure, like, so far we don't know everyone in it, but we do know some of the names in this match. So we have Chad Gable, who had an excellent match against Gunther. We had Otis. We got Shinsuke Nakamura, who looks like he's turning heel. We have Tommaso Ciampa. We have Fight Night, Sheamus, and of course, we got the megastar, L.A. Knight. Yeah. Let me talk to you. So, Sasha, who do you think is going to win this SummerSlam battle royal, the Slim Jim SummerSlam battle royal?
Let's cut to the chase here. We all know why this thing is happening. We both seen online people are clearly behind LA Knight, and they are mad that they feel like he's not getting the big wins that they feel like he should be getting, which I agree to some extent. They felt like he should have won Money in the Bank. Like I said, anytime there's a big match and LA Knight is in the area, everybody thinks he should win. And he has not. However, you know me, I'm very much about like telling the story. Don't wait. You don't have to always just give one moment. If you can wait a little bit and it's greater, for the big picture. I will go ahead and say though that if he does not win this battle royal, even I will have to be like, okay, damn, like, like it's it's getting big now. Like LA Knight, like I know people go back and forth about wins or losses, and I feel like wins and losses do matter. Don't get me wrong. You got to do something at this point. Like if he loses this, it's kind of like, yo, you don't have anything else around the corner, not that we know of, that can solidify or just say like give him more momentum going in. He has to win this battle royal. To me, he's my pick. He
Yeah.
is my pick because it's like if he doesn't win this, what else you got? The only thing I'll say about this battle royal on my end is like if he wins, great. But then I wish there was some kind of like stipulation. Like what do they get if they win? You can win a battle royal, great, but if they added some little like, oh, you get like a title shot or you get something, that would
Right.
be great.
Yeah.
But I
I
feel like either way, it has to be alienating.
I agree with that. It has to be LA Knight with this one. What's that saying? Strike the pot when it's hot, or something.
Strike the iron when it's
Strike the
hot.
iron when it's hot.
Yeah.
Like this is it. I think I was okay with him losing before, like him not winning the invitational for the United States Championship and all that. I was fine with that. Him not winning Money in Bank, I was fine with it because I know there's a reason. But now I feel like you can't have him lose too much of even though there's not maybe a big match, but it's still considered a big deal the way they're hyping it up to be. So he has to win this one. You got to give the fans of Detroit, the fans of the universe, the WWE universe, a big win, and this is it. He has to win this match. Like this is the match he has to win. The other ones he didn't have to. This one he has to, because like you said, there's nothing on the horizon that would be considered big. I think I don't even know what the next pay per view is, to be honest with you, but even like you got to start now. So you can eventually make him a bigger star, and he can eventually get to whatever, whether he be like the last man Survivor Series. Like that's the next big four is Survivor Series, right? So
And they didn't even do the traditional 5-on-5 last year. They had
right,
war
they did
games.
war games. So are we gonna get war games this year? Are we gonna get the traditional 5-on-5? Like we don't know. So because we don't know, he has to win now so we can build to it. And we need to get him into a big feud as well. I think that would definitely help his career in the WWE, help uplift him and make the fans even love him more if he can have just that big time feud too. Because we don't want, it's good to have the hype, but if you're not doing anything with it, then it's kind of a waste. So he's got to win this match. I do want to say this though, Chad Gable, that whole thing with Gunther. I want Chad Gable to be at least the second person, to be the last one out. He has been killing it. We know his whole persona, the shoes, please, and all that. Like the Alpha Academy, like it's been funny. Like I really do enjoy Alpha Academy, and him and Otis and Max. Is it Maxine?
Yep.
Like I love the whole thing that they doing, but I want some more of him. and as a singles guy. And I think what they did on Monday by having him out there um, was great. That match with Gunther was amazing, and I think that's the liftoff pad too, is for his career as a single star. Even he can have them with him, but I just would love for him to have a great showing in this match as well. Maybe eliminate Sheamus or eliminate someone big and finish in that top two. That would be great to see. Is there anyone that hasn't been announced for this match that you would like to see in it? Maybe like a surprise or something like that.
Hmm. No, I hadn't thought of that. I honestly, maybe somebody from NXT could come over, even if they don't come on the main. Like, maybe like a Wesley,
Okay.
only because, he lost a triple threat, with him and Mustafa Ali and Dirty Dom and everything. Maybe just have some NXT guys come in. This is a big stage, and just kind of, like I said, we just talked about that, the list, top superstars, under 30. Maybe have some of them come, like a Braun Breaker. He's been on Raw a couple times. Carmelo Hayes is recently on Raw. Maybe somebody from NXT come. I really can't think of anybody outside of WWE coming back. I don't see Randy Orton as much as
No,
I'm waiting for Randy Orton to bless us with his presence. I don't see that happening. But yeah, maybe just somebody in NXT. I would like to have, like you said, Chad Gable having a good showing would be great. Somebody from NXT having a good showing. I would kind of like Riddle to have a good showing too. I feel like he's just been kind of floundering a little bit, for lack of a better term.
There was some news about Riddle this week. I'm liking that you brought him up. Riddle. So there's your boy Dave Meltzer. Okay, and I say your boy because he's definitely not mine. Uh,
I guess he has to be mine by default.
Yeah, by default, because he's definitely not my boy. I would never. Anyway, uh, he brought up a thing where the top guys in WWE, the head people are not gonna basically bag Riddle because of the trouble, and I'm putting quotes, air quotes in the air for the trouble that Riddle's been having, because he lost to Ludwig Kaiser in a surprise, not in a surprise, but he lost clean to Ludwig Kaiser. Or Ludwig, I don't even say his name correctly.
It was a good match too, by the way.
It was a good match. Liked it. Like, do you think that hurt Riddle at all? Because the reason why I'm asking is because, first of all, I think that Kaiser, they made it seem like Kaiser is like a jobber or something. Like, first of all, I don't know if you heard this, but Gunther was just talking about Kaiser, how he wishes, he did an interview. He was talking about how Kaiser should get more shine, like should get more of a push, because he's just so great. And in my opinion, Kaiser has been awesome so far in his role, and he definitely deserves more of a run. I think him beating a guy like Riddle in a very good match, like you stated, I mean, I think that's good for Imperium. Like, it's not like he lost to a jobber. He lost to a member of Imperium that has been getting, he just had a singles match against McIntyre the week before, or like he's having good matches with these guys. So do you think that's hurting Riddle?
So I don't think that. So I know I said he's floundering. I guess I could just kind of specify with that. When I say flounder, that's not taking anything away from him and Ludwig. Like I said, that was a great match. It was very competitive. And Ludwig Kaiser is, like you said, not a bad wrestler. He's actually very good. So I don't think in particular that hurt him. I think when I say floundering, it just kind of seems like he doesn't have a direction. It's like ever since he came back, he's just been like I feel like they've kind of made his character very dependent on being paired with somebody else. If that makes sense. It's like he's with Randy, and now he's with kind of a sort of partnership with Drew, even though Drew's not been there as much. I just feel like he's something's not clicking. And it's not anything against Riddle. I don't know any. I mean, people read stuff about it. I don't find it's any of my damn business, but I just feel as a whole creatively, like they just don't quite know what to do with him by himself. Um, because you could argue that the most that the Riddle character has been featured is when he was with somebody else, namely Randy Orton. Ever since then, it just hasn't had the same spark. Even his series with Seth, it didn't quite do what it probably should have for him. So I don't think him losing to Ludovic was bad because it was like they can't really do much else than what they've been doing. Like he lost, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, it happened. I think there's a bigger issue here. They have to figure out something to do with Riddle to make him more relevant again. So
Yeah,
that's just what I think.
I think that makes sense. I think he just had the unfortunate, unfortunately, injuries happen, and I really believe, like you know what I've been saying for Riddle for the longest. Like I really believe Randy was going to turn on Riddle, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was going to be Randy that lifts Riddle up to that superstar. Well, not superstar, but just main event status. And unfortunately, that just didn't, that didn't happen because of the injury. And yes, Riddle did. He got in trouble. I think it was, I don't know if it was like steroid or whatever use, whatever happened. I don't know exactly the details, but he got officially suspended, I guess, for like 30 days, and that kind of hurt him again. And then injuries and just he just had a little bad luck. I don't think Riddle's in a bad place at all. In fact, the fans still love Riddle, and I think that's for sure. They're still behind Riddle, and the loss to Kaiser was not a big deal. I think that this is just another report from Dave that he just needs to shut the hell up on, you know, because he obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. I just think that Riddle will get back to the place that we need him to be pretty damn soon. I can tell you that. I'm in fact I'm almost guaranteeing it that he will be back in a good spot after SummerSlam, and especially when Randy returns. Because Randy, if he returns very soon, which I highly believe that is the case, he will be back soon. It wouldn't surprise me he's back on Monday or something like that. But uh, it's coming, and then Riddle will continue on the journey that, because Trips loves him too. I think that's one thing. I think Trips definitely loves Matt Riddle. All right, but let's get back on to track. Let's get back talking about SummerSlam. Let's talk about the next match. And I mentioned it before, but let's get into Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler in an MMA rules match. What are your thoughts on this match, Sasha?
Get your pitchforks out, people. I think I've said this before. I don't like watching UFC. I don't like watching people pummel each other.
And that is the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in.
I don't like it. I don't
She
like
just
it.
ruined. She just what don't you? You know what? Continue. I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna ask.
I don't like it. I like my combat sports just the way that I like it in a 20 by 20 ring. I just don't like it. Just I feel like at the end I'm watching somebody, their eyes swollen shut, looking very Elephant Man like. It just doesn't do it for me. With that being said, I do want to see this match. I don't know what it is. Again, maybe it's the bloodthirsty savage from the H in me, but that video package. First of all, with this feud, I feel like it was so random to me in the way that it was just like Shayna attack Ronda, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's this now? Um, Over the past few, I kind of forgot about it. Like I'd only remember when they would come out and start talking about it. It was just kind of like flying under the radar. Like as we said earlier, there wasn't a match that I wasn't interested to see, but this match was very close to being on that line where it's like, oh, okay, I'll watch it, but I'm not really like 100% like super okay, I can't miss it. But that video package on Monday, and again seeing it live, sold me 100%. Complete turnaround. I feel like a lot of the trash talk that's been going on, it's fine. It seemed like it was low lying fruit to say that, you know, Rhonda got her way in easily. All that stuff seemed like regular stuff. That emotion, having them both cry, having them both really just get in depth of how personal and how deep their relationship is, really sold me. And like I said, I don't like watching UFC, but I've watched. I was a big fan of Shayna Baszler's run in NXT, and that's one thing I wanted so badly for her was to go back to that ass kicking Shayna Baszler. You know, that Shayna Baszler a couple years ago, she was kind of in that Rhea Ripley spot where it was like, who's gonna take her down? And really, if you want to point to when Rhea Ripley really started to gain momentum when she was going to the main roster, her beating Shayna was that to me. Um, so trying to reestablish Shayna as that ass kicker that she was, and say what you will about Ronda Rousey, I think for all the feuds she's had and all the criticism people have given her, I think this is definitely the opponent. I think this is the feud. I think this is what needs to happen. If Ronda Rousey decides not to come back, I think this is the perfect bookend to her career. The way she came in hot. She was champ for a while. She took time off. She had her baby. She came back. The fans haven't been so kind to her. It just hasn't been the same. I think if you're going to hang it up and bookend your wrestling career, this is the way to do it. I want to see these two women go at it. It's personal. You know they both can go. And the fact that, you know, they're used to sparring with each other. They know each other. I think this might be like, with all the great matches on the card, might be the one that surprises everybody. So I'm really looking forward to it. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I think that, first of all, I'm curious to know, is Ronda Rousey underrated?
Uh, God, I really hate underrated versus overrated. I hate when people ask that. Not you, but it's just like I hear that all the time.
Right. And the reason I'm asking, and it's just the reason why I think Ronda probably doesn't get the respect that she probably deserves, because she was an MMA superstar, right? She joins the WWE and she was like a part-timer. And then she switched to like full time for like the last year or two. Like, it's kind of crazy what she's done. I know she's not the greatest wrestler or anything like that, but she puts on good matches. She puts her body on the line. She takes beatings.
And she had a baby not too long ago.
She had a baby and came back and then still went full time. And then she takes beatings. I mean, I've seen her take some bad bumps. And she still comes back. She still, puts her all in every match. I gotta give major respect to her. And your point about Shayna Baszler, her days of being in NXT, I love Shayna Baszler in NXT. She was just a pure badass, and she used to do the arm break type thing that Butch does. She was just a badass. And I love that you brought up the match with Ripley, because that was a huge match. And when Ripley was able to finally beat her and take the title off her, that was a big deal. She goes to the main roster. She did go to WrestleMania. She did face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. She did lose the match. But, at first she was getting a push. It soured after a while. She had the tag team with Nia. She was tag team champions, I believe, several times. So she's been decent, but she hasn't been the badass that she was in NXT. And I'm thinking this match will get her to that level. And if this is Ronda Rousey's, farewell, what better way than to help your best friend get to another level?
Yep,
That's major respect to Ronda for doing that. Because obviously she doesn't have to do that at all. This is Ronda Rousey, you know what I mean? But I am excited for this match. First off, I'm a huge MMA fan. I've been to a UFC event. It's so special to be there, just like it is special to be at a WWE event. Just hearing the announcers and just watching the fight, it's just awesome. I love watching it. And so to see an MMA rules match, I'm not sure exactly, what they're going to actually do, but it's still going to be great. And I can't wait to see this match. I think this is going to be, it wouldn't surprise me at all if this was a match that stole the show or something like that. I don't think it will be the top match, the best match, but it's going to be a really good match for sure. I would bet a lot on that for sure.
Yep, I feel like you got to watch one MMA rules match this year. Let it be this one. That's what I feel. So who do you have? Who do you think's gonna win?
So I gotta go Shayna on this one.
I agree.
Yeah, it's got to be Shayna, so she can get to that next level. I think that's the right move, and just let it be a good match so we can, she can really get there. Because if it's a dud, it's not helping her, even if she beat Ronda Rousey. So it's got to be good. It's definitely got to be good. All right, so let's get on to the next match. And the next match we're going to talk about is the match that should open the show. It's going to be my boy Ricochet versus my homeboy Logan Paul. Sasha, I mean, you got to experience Logan Paul in person. I'm so envious of you right now. But Logan Paul versus Ricochet, we've seen the great moments that they've had at the Royal Rumble. We've seen it at Money in the Bank match. What do you think this match is going to be?
I think if you had to give a superlative to this match, this might be the match most likely to give Jim Cornette an aneurysm. Because he was going to be like, oh my gosh, the risk that they're going to take. I'm not wishing anything ill on Jim Cornette. I actually do enjoy Jim Cornette. But yeah, I agree. This should definitely open the show. When I wrote the list of matches down, this is what I actually wrote first. Yeah, I think they're gonna do some crazy shit. I don't want anybody to get hurt. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. I don't think I have an articulate review. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. That's all I'm worried about, because you got these two people, and God bless her, Samantha Irvin. If it was me, I would have been like, I can't sit out here and watch you do foolishness, because it just feels like they're gonna try to one up each other, and it's like there's nothing. I don't know. I just know that I want Ricochet to pick up the dub, and I need everybody to leave this match with all limbs intact. That's all I know. What about you?
So I want everyone to understand what I'm gonna say. I am not comparing him to this man, okay? The match, the vibes I'm getting from this match. So I don't know if you guys ever watch past Ricochet matches, but one of the greatest matches I've ever seen, and is one of my favorite matches of all time, is Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. Now I know that Logan Paul's not Will Ospreay level. I'm not saying that. I'm not thinking that at all. But that type of match is what I'm expecting from this. It was a very highly athletic match. They did a lot of moves, a lot of flips, a lot of everything. And it was just a great fucking match. It was a very entertaining match. In fact, I just watched one of their matches. It was Ricochet versus Will Ospreay at the Super Juniors, which is an event that New Japan holds with all their the flyweights and all that, cruiserweights basically. Just think of the cruiserweights. It's just like a tournament where all the cruiserweights join and they fight for a chance at the cruiserweight their version of the cruiserweight title. But anyway, it was just a very uber athletic match, and this is what I expect from this one. I think that Ricochet is going to make Logan Paul look like $1,000,000, and I think Logan Paul can also do the same for Ricochet. You know, I was looking at the matches, like I was looking at star ratings yesterday with my boy Brandon, and we were looking at Logan Paul. Do you know Logan Paul's matches have all been 4-star or more by Dave Meltzer, which is crazy. He has not had less than a 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Before every singles match, I'm sorry, all his singles matches have been at least 4 stars or more. The only one that wasn't, it was a 3.5 star, was his first match against Dom and Mysterio with Miz as his tag team partner. But every single match after that was 4-star or higher. That's crazy for a man that's only had what 5 or 6 matches. Every match besides his very first one was 4-star or higher. It was between 4 and 4.5. That's amazing. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Miz, like these are Hall of Famers that he's going against, and he's having great matches with them. And now he's going against one of the best wrestlers in the world in Ricochet, who's going to just help him reach crazy levels. I don't know. I know you said who you want to win, but who are you picking to win this match?
I'm going to pick Ricochet.
You're picking Ricochet, and this is where we disagree. I am going with Logan Paul, who's going to beat Ricochet. And trust me, I love Ricochet. You know that. But I'm going to give the win to Logan Paul. He's going to win, and then he's going to jump on the jet, go to Dallas, and watch his brother beat Nate Diaz in the boxing match later that night. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to beat him, go on the jet, go to Dallas, and watch his brother beat Nate. There you go. That is my predictions. Though I'm giving you 2 predictions in one.
Well, thank you for that. So this definitely got to start the show. Then if he's gonna make it to his brother's fight.
Yeah. He requested that it opens the show just because of that, because he wants to be there. So it's definitely gonna open the show, and it should open the show because
that just makes sense.
Even if his brother's fight wasn't happening the same night, I think that this should be the match that opens the show because of just the athleticism in general. You want to open up with a hot match, and what a better match on the card to start with than that. So we got those predictions. Let's get on to the next match then. The next match I want to talk about, let's switch to the Intercontinental title, because we have Drew McIntyre versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Sasha, I know you saw the match at WrestleMania between them two, along with Sheamus in the triple threat. What a hell of a match that was. But now it's time for Gunther to fight Drew McIntyre one-on-one. Match we have not seen. Sasha, I need some thoughts and opinions on this.
Well, if Logan Paul is over there making requests about SummerSlam, I would like to hereby make a formal request that Titus O'Neil be back on commentary just for this match. That's all I need. I need him to say, call the police when they start chopping each other. I love that. Anyway, I love Drew McIntyre. I really do. But I'm going to keep this short and sweet. He ain't beating Gunther. Like, it ain't happening. I don't see it. Gunther is so close to beating the Honky Tonk Man's record. And we can talk about beating records later on in the show. But I think for all of the hype and all of the I don't want to say hype because I don't want to say it's not deserved. Gunther has definitely, enhanced the Intercontinental title with his reign. And I have no problem with him beating the Honky Tonk Man's record. I think it should happen. I think if Drew were to beat Gunther, either Drew or Sheamus, I feel like would do it. I guess they're done with Sheamus for now, but I don't think he should lose it right before he gets that record. That's one of the selling points. He's bringing legitimacy back to it, and by him being the longest reigning IC champ, I think that definitely that's something that'll really just kind of put the bow on it. So, like I said, I love Drew. I feel like they're gonna need a lot of ice on their chest after this match, a lot of salve or whatever they call it for their chest. Um, I'm definitely gonna be watching that. I really loved the triple threat from WrestleMania, but yeah, Drew, I love you, but you're not beating Gunther. I don't see it, so I'm picking Gunther. What about you?
I'm also going with Gunther on this one as well. I don't think Drew's the person to do it, but I can't wait for this match. This is going to be one of the best matches on the card. This is probably going to be the best match on the card, for real. Just pure match. Just because just what they're going to do to each other. It's going to be crazy. I don't think Drew should beat Gunther. In fact, I think that Gunther already fought the man that's going to beat him. I really believe that it's going to be Chad Gable. That is my prediction to the person that eventually does beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title. But as far as this match is concerned, this match is going to be just a hard-hitting affair. It's going to be amazing. It's probably going to be 5 stars. So, Dave, you better rate it 5 stars already. It better start at 4 stars and then just go up from there. That's how great I believe this match is going to be. I can't wait for this, man. Oh my God. I know what Gunther can do. We all know what Drew can do. This is kind of like it's kind of like a dream match in a way. Like it's just so crazy what they're gonna do to each other. It is gonna be just amazing. I can't even speak like anything more than just amazing. Because like, oh man, this is perfection. This is gonna be, I guarantee the crowd's gonna be like, this is wrestling. Like, or fight forever. Like, this is gonna get those chants. This is gonna be the match that gets these chants. Like, I know you don't watch New Japan, but this is a New Japan style match. You got 2 guys that are just gonna beat the hell out of each other and produce perfection, produce magic in that 20 by 20 square circle. This is gonna be a hell of a match. I can't wait. So you pick Gunther, I pick Gunther. I said Chad Gable's going to be the person to beat him. Who do you think will beat him? Bonus question. Who beats Gunther for the Intercontinental title?
No, I'm not sure. I never thought of it. I mean, the Chad Gable, that's not a bad pick, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind seeing that. So I'll go with Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. Okay, good. I like that we on the same page. I like that.
Can we pipe in Big E saying "big meaty men bumping meat" for this match? I really feel like that's very appropriate.
Yo,
so if we could do that in post.
So they've been doing on Up Down Down. They're doing like this like their Summer Olympics type thing, and it's crazy. So Big E's there. He's teaming with Kofi. You have Shayna and Baron Corbin. You have you got Liv and Raquel. You got Mia Yim and Shelton Benjamin together as a team, which is hilarious because they always act like they hate each other. Who else they have? They have someone else. They have Otis and Chad Gable. And it's hosted by, of course, Xavier Woods. It's hosted with Tyler Breeze. It's a great like YouTube video that they have. They're doing an event every day leading up to SummerSlam. If you have time, please watch the Up Down Down Summer Olympics thing that they're having. It's awesome. I believe it's sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it's awesome. They did a water balloon toss so far. They did cornhole. Those are the only ones I got to watch so far. But yeah, it's just hell of fun. Big E's hilarious. He did like this sermon to start it. And one of the episodes, he did like this sermon. They actually start playing like church music in the back. Like this shit is hilarious. Like I miss Big E. It's because of things he did on that show that's just hilarious. And shout out to Liv Morgan too, because Liv is hilarious on that show as well. But anyway, this game, I just had to. You brought up Big E, and it just made me started smiling because I love Big E. So
Don't we
can't
all?
wait, can't wait for him to get back for sure. Can't wait. All right, let's get on to the next match. The next match we're gonna switch to the women's side. For the WWE Women's Championship is a triple threat match. We have the reigning defending champion Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. Sasha, I mean, three of the best women in the world in a triple threat match for one of the biggest prizes in the world. I mean, what are your opinions on this match?
Well, first of all, I think Asuka, she's my pick. I think she's going to win. I think she's about due for a good, lengthy title run since she's been back. Mostly because I wouldn't mind if Asuka won and then they kind of branched off into a Charlotte Bianca Belair feud. I know people are like, oh, that's a WrestleMania, that's this and that, which I agree. Fine, great. Um, it doesn't have to happen right away, but I would like to see it. I also want to see Charlotte Flair in a feud that does not involve the title. I really want that for her. I feel like that's a lot of her motivation, which is fine. You know, everybody says, like, you know, you get into the business, you want to be champion. Great, fine. But I want to see some more layers to Charlotte Flair's character. I get she's the queen, all that other stuff, but I really want to see more. Because when you think about it, a lot of her matches, except for a lot of her feuds, except for maybe the one with her and Becky, it was really personal, and I really felt like that was really good work for Charlotte right there. I really feel like I enjoy her more when, and I'm not saying she shouldn't get the title. I'm not really of that notion that, oh, she gets too many. I just really want to see her character development without the title always being her motivation, you know, if that makes any sense. Bianca just came off a historic title reign. So again, I want to see more of her development without the title too. I think they're both in an interesting spot in their career. One of them is a multiple time champion. The other one had an historic reign. Now you want to kind of see where they're at without the belts. Whereas Asuka, I think this is a perfect time for her to have a really good run. I think the match is going to be great. Like you said, three of the best in the world at what they do. But I think I'm definitely going to go with Asuka. And I know we talked about Ashley, and earlier she actually, you know, asked me, what do I think about Asuka and Io? I think definitely that's going to be something that's coming down the pipeline. My only thing was I wasn't sure if that's going to be before or after a Bayley feud. You can make an argument for both as far as placement before, you know, when she has her feud with Asuka, but I definitely think Asuka's the one that should take it. What do you think?
I agree. I'm picking Asuka. I think Asuka deserves a long reign with the title. She hasn't really had a long reign with championships since NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be great to have her have a nice run. I do agree with you on the Io and Asuka. I mean, for me, I think that would be my WrestleMania match. But I can definitely see it happening sooner, just because she is the Money in the Bank uh, holder. So with Io being that, I could definitely see her cashing in sooner rather than later. But it would be cool if she said, announced her Money in the Bank match. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want you at WrestleMania. And I think that works too because um, maybe they have maybe a SmackDown person, and I'm thinking ahead. Maybe it should be a SmackDown woman that wins. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe it should be a Raw woman that wins the Rumble to face Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that they should consider. As far as the match is concerned, I think the match is going to be a great match. You have three of the best women in the world, like I said. They can all go for sure. And I think this is just going to be great to see for sure. as far as Charlotte and having, to address your statement about Charlotte having a feud outside of the title picture, I think she definitely does need to do that, because she is always in the title picture when she's around. It would be great to see her outside of that, so she can help build the other women as well. I mean, I want them to hold off on Charlotte versus Bianca to Mania, because Bianca has fought pretty much all the other four horsewomen at Mania except for Bayley, but she fought her on the way to Mania. So I would like to hold off on it, but it's going to be kind of hard to do that just with the fact that we're only in August and Mania is all the way, in April. So it's like they already start teasing the feud, and I guess you could say they're feuding, but not really. Um, it'd be nice if they could hold off on it somehow. But if they don't, then make it where, maybe they do Charlotte Bianca 3 at Mania. Like they have 2 matches before then, and then they leave the third one for Mania or something like that, to that effect. I think that would be a great idea. But yeah, it's got to be Asuka. I just feel like a title change here would be too soon. And I just want Io to be the one to cash in on Asuka. I want to see that match. That is a dream match for me. I'm sure they fought before, when they were in Japan or whatever. But to see it in the WWE, I think it would just be great. They have an excellent backstory. They've been, they were in the same faction over in Japan. They've been tag team partners. They've been everything. I think they're like best friends or close to best friends or something like that. So there's history there. I want them to hold off on it. So I would personally have the Bayley feud happen first, and then lead to Asuka versus Io at Mania. That would be my personal choice for that.
Okay. I'm all for that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. So let's get into the next match. This is interesting. Which match? Okay. You know what? Let's do it. Let's talk about the three peats, I guess you could call it. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus Brock Lesnar. What are your thoughts on this match? Because actually, you know what? Let me start off with this. I want to start off with this because this has been a really good feud. I really enjoy this feud. I think that you brought it up, I believe, earlier. You talked about Cody Rhodes, and I think it was it today that you brought it up, where it was we were talking about Cody, and it wasn't the finish the story part.
It was,
where,
it was this episode. Yeah.
Okay. I know I wasn't imagining it. How him finishing the story, it's not for then. Like it's better to enjoy it now. Like it seems more enjoyable because it's now like he's going through his hard times to get to that point. Yeah, that's right. Because you were talking about how you saw him at Raw. So yeah, I do enjoy this story where now you're facing a threat, which is one of the biggest threats in the world. Brock Lesnar. We know how he is. You know that Brock is a dominator. He is a guy that, he's ended the streak. Let's just say that, he's been main eventing WrestleMania how many times now? Like, this is a guy that you're scared of. I had a conversation with my boy Brandon. Shout out to him again, because I have excellent conversations about wrestling with him. And we were talking about, like, who would you want to be in a match with Brock Lesnar? And I was like, hell no. Like, that's one man I do not want to be in a match with. I don't want to take a suplex from him. I don't want to take a German, nothing from him, because he is just a threat. Like, he is going to hurt you. And he has put a hurting on Cody. Cody has one of the greatest stories in wrestling history. In sports history, it's crazy, the story. The reason I mention that is because I watched his documentary,
Okay,
that
I
they
haven't,
had.
so don't spoil for me. I
I'm
haven't
not.
watched
I'm not going to
it.
spoil much. Yeah, I'm just going to say this. Like his documentary explored like his beginnings. It explored his thoughts and opinions on his first run, and then how and why he left the business. Well, why he left WWE and then returned and all this. You just get to see like his evolution in this documentary, and you're starting to see even more evolution from him in this feud with Brock, because yes, he did not finish the story with Roman and win the title that his dad never won, but it's getting there. Like I think that one thing about wrestling, and we kind of mentioned this with LA Knight, like yes, everybody wanted LA Knight to win Money in the Bank. Everybody wanted LA Knight to win the United States Invitational and all that. But sometimes it's best to just wait, because the longer you wait, the more you savor that moment and you want that moment to happen. It feels more like you just get more enjoyment. And we're going to talk more about that because that's kind of a theme of another match, as we all know, and later in the show. But sometimes it's just best to just hold off and just wait for the perfect time. And he has to suffer through the bad times in order to reach those good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Life sucks and then you die.
Thank you,
Well,
Vince McMahon.
Cody is not going to die, but Cody has to live through the parts that suck. And this facing Brock, it sucks for him only because it's Brock Lesnar. Not
Yeah.
that the actual feud sucks, but it's just that he has to go through his times. And then when it's time for him to win the title, he will win it, and it will be one of the greatest moments in the history of professional wrestling. I can't wait for the promo after it. I think I'm more excited for the promo than him actually winning. But yes, my pick is Cody Rhodes to end Brock Lesnar. I do wish there was maybe some type of stipulation to it, maybe a Hell in a Cell or something like that. No DQ, just something, a street fight. Just give me something. But you know what? I'm okay. In fact, I'm expecting a referee bump, and then they get into a street fight type thing. I go back to WrestleMania 17, Undertaker versus Triple H type
You want
thing.
a ref coma, essentially.
Yes, I'm thinking something like that. That is the match I think we get. I'm picking Cody Rhodes for my prediction. Sasha, give me your thoughts.
I mean, there's really not much to say after that. I mean, it's the third match. They're kind of tied up. Cody, Cody needs it more. It's just another chapter of his story. Like I said, you pretty much summed it all up. So I'm picking Cody Rhodes. It's gonna be a long day at the office for old boy though. So hope he has his mind right.
Right?
Yeah, he's gonna pack his lunch because Lord have mercy, Brock Lesnar. He said, they're gonna pay him a lot of money to beat Cody Rhodes' ass on Saturday, and Cody Rhodes is gonna get a lot of money to get his ass beat. So God bless him. But yeah, Cody Rhodes for the dub.
Gotcha. All right, so let's get on to the next match. This is going to be interesting from you. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about this next match. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have the champion Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor. Sasha, I'm gonna give you the floor on this one because there is a bonus question. And of course, you already know what that bonus question is. I'll just go ahead and ask you.
I'm sorry, guys.
Money in the Bank cashing in as well.
I'm sorry, you guys keep hearing.
I'm gonna give you the floor. You need the time. Go ahead, say what you gotta say.
I'm sorry, you guys keep hearing me groan, but this match and then the last match stressed me out because when I sat here and I wrote my notes, I looked at all my picks and then I was like, oh no, I was like, if I make this pick, then the other pick doesn't make sense. Like, I was really, if you've ever seen that meme of Jay Uso looking real stressed out, that was literally me preparing for the show when I got to these last two matches. So, okay, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Let me start off by saying that I am really excited that Finn Balor is getting this opportunity, because I feel like this is, again, kind of like what Shayna, we talked about Shayna and Ronda. This was the feud that Finn needed. I think this had the story, it had the emotion. This, I feel like, turned Finn up to another level. Again, he's been, again, kind of like Shayna, he came in with the bang, or he came in a prominent role, and then unfortunately got cut short by injury. And then kind of from there, he was just kind of floating, He was what do they say, the extraordinary man who does extraordinary things. And I was kind of like, what did he do? It's not a slight to him. It was just like, he wasn't being presented in the same way that he was when he first came, when he was in NXT. But this Finn, this is the Finn we needed all along. So shout out to him for that. Seth Rollins, just, me. I love Seth Rollins. I don't know if you saw on Instagram what he wrote on his shoes, or I guess the shoes he's gonna wear on Saturday. But it says 7-year bitch on it. So already Seth Rollins ain't shit for what he's about to do. You talk about Rhea Ripley being a menace. Seth Rollins is a super menace. Again, I'm so stressed out because, to me, if you're telling me that this man is waiting 7 years and he has stepped his game up this much, and there's just so much more I feel like that can be told if the story leans towards him, I really feel like Finn Balor should win. And why that stresses me out, I guess I'll talk about in the next match. But for all intents and purposes, I feel like Finn's firing on all cylinders. Kudos to Seth Rollins. He always wants to be the top guy. He deserved being the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. But I think this story would be far more interesting, and there's far more possibilities if Finn Balor wins. So I'm going to go with Finn Balor for the win. Do you want to share your pick and then hit me with the question?
You know what? That's interesting. I didn't think you would go Finn.
Oh, trust me, I was stressed out. I raced and wrote and erased and wrote.
I'm because. Whew, okay, so I agree with you. I also picked Finn Balor to win this match. It was tough.
It was a tough
one because I guess the bonus question is the one that is probably the tougher one. But I went Finn mostly because I think that I like the fact that we don't know if he's going to cash in on his buddy. If that's a bigger story, if that's a more interesting story going forward, than Seth winning, and then when is Senora going to cash in on Seth? I feel like that's a bigger. It's more interesting that way. I think that Finn definitely deserves to be the winner of this match. He's worked his ass off to be back at this level, and he is finally on a level that we just all. I feel like this is the Finn we've all wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted this badass Finn. Like, I mean, he was a badass in NXT. He was, I loved his second run in NXT when he went back and he had those just badass
Yeah.
matches.
Hmm.
Like, it was perfect. I just I think this is exactly what we want. I think this is the perfect time for Seth to drop the title. I don't think he needs the title to, it's already at an elevated level. So I think this is the perfect time for him to drop it and just let it happen. Just Finn Balor, finish your destiny, get your revenge after 7 years, and let's see the interesting fact. Let's see that interesting storyline of if Senor Money in the Bank is going to cash in on his buddy. So now I ask you, is it going to happen at SummerSlam?
Boy, I know we talked about this before. How we said that whenever Finn wins, we wouldn't want him to cash in right away. I feel like we said that. But then I started thinking, with all this like hoopla over 7 years and how he's been just obsessing about this, wouldn't that be interesting to see if Finn Balor continued to descend into madness? That after 7 years, he finally beats Seth Rollins, and then Damian Priest is like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and take this from you right now, big dog. Wouldn't that, man? I would love to see Finn Balor lose his shit. When I thought about it, I don't know. I know me. I love Damian Priest. That's my guy. I don't know if it's time, but then I'm also interested. I'm like, yo, Finn Balor would lose his shit if he loses to Damian Priest right after. Like that's the ultimate home move to me. Like you watch your friend obsessed about this and you're just gonna like backdoor him. Like, oh, that's such a dick move. And I really wanna see it. But then I know long term it would also be interesting to kind of see Finn kind of be paranoid. Like, are you gonna do it? Like, where you're? I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I said all that to not have an answer, but like I said, I just think the story just has to be Seth Rollins shouldn't win this because the possibilities with Finn, I feel like are just juicier than if Seth wins. I love Seth, but I think it's time. Like you said, I don't have an answer. You know, I love Damian Priest, but
Could you
I
see? Could you see Damien doing a Seth Rollins
joining
on
the
turning
uh
into a triple threat midway in the match? Like Finn does the coup de grace, then Damien comes in, turns into briefcase, hits Finn Balor, throws him out of the ring, and then
I
boom,
mean,
pins him for the 1, 2, 3, and then Senior Money in the Bank
I
is the
think if
champion.
he, it would be great if he threw Seth out of the ring and
Or
pinned
or
Finn.
or even
Oh,
this. Seth Rollins hits the curve stomp on Finn. Then Damien comes into the ring, cashes in, throws Seth out, and pins Finn.
like I said, it would be a dick move. But I really, I don't. I mean, I could see it, but I just feel like it would be just so much juicier if Finn wins. He gets that vindication, and then if you really just want to be a jerk about it, just take it away. Because if you remember when back when he was Daniel Bryan, you know, when Daniel Bryan won the title and he was sucking in his moment, and then here comes Randy Orton, just kind of just putting water on the flame, you know, just kind of just snuffing it out. Granted, Finn is a heel, so people probably won't be happy about it, but just like if you look at his arc, it's just that vindication, like I did it, you know, 7 years, I obsessed about this. I don't know if triple threat would be what I would go for. If you were gonna do it after the match. Like catch him after, let him have his moment, and then just take it away from him. I feel like that's just really rubbing it in. You can make the argument too if he made it into a triple threat match, taking it away from him before he even has the opportunity. But just knowing how crazy it made him, I just personally feel like if I had my money, take it away from me, that would hurt more. So I would
Okay.
say just do it after he wins. What do you think?
No, I get it. Ah,
It's
I
hard, right? There's so many ways you can
yeah.
go with it.
Either way, you know what's crazy though? I think either way they go, I would be happy with. I'll be honest with you. I want the title in Judgment Day.
Yeah,
I think that's the right decision. I wouldn't be mad if Seth wins. Don't get me wrong,
I
but
thought it would be.
I would just be happier if it happened where the Judgment Day somehow won the title. I mean, they'll have they'll have 3 titles, but and Money in the Bank, or it's, either way, like they'll have 3 titles, whether the cash in happens or not. And I think Judgment Day as the next faction to dominate, it's a great thing. We talked about that last time. Like they are a great faction. They've been dominating everywhere they go. They're raising havoc everywhere they fucking are a part of. Every show.
Mm-hmm.
Great American Bash, it was Dom and Rhea causing havoc, and Dom, retaining his title. If it happens at SummerSlam, they cheat to win the title, then let it happen. I don't care. I would be happier with them with the title, but if Seth wins, like I said, it is okay. I'm still fine with that because Seth freaking Rollins he's just great. He is great.
I
And
mean, he is. I agree. I just don't see where it could go after that.
yeah, I agree. I don't know where you go with it after, but it's fine. I would still be fine with it. It just wouldn't be what I would do. It's basically, and what you wouldn't do either. So I like we're on the same page with this though. I think we had to be on this one because I had no choice. I feel like if I chose Seth, you'll get at me.
I probably would have. But one more thing on this match, I
Yeah.
really appreciate how the creative team, they kind of for a while teased the dissension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, and then they just kind of turned around and made them even more dominant. I feel like that really helps with the match too, because now you're just like, is he gonna do it? Is he not gonna do it? I feel like if they had just kind of kept the tension and everything, you'd be like, oh, he's gonna do it. Like, I feel like it adds to it, them being even more dominant, even more cohesive. It's just gonna make it more interesting when it does happen, whenever it happens. So I really like that they did that.
I like that. I like that too. All right. So now on to the main event.
Oh Lord, this was the one.
This is the one because oh man, I don't even know what to say about it. Okay, so
I feel like you probably have the same problem that I did.
So let me. Oh God. Okay, let me go ahead and just announce what it is. So we have main event Jey Uso versus the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE undisputed World Heavyweight Champion of the universe, or whatever you want to call it.
I don't
The
know what they call
tribal
it
chief, the man on God mode, Roman Reigns, in a tribal combat match.
Which we don't know what the hell that is, but
Which
we're gonna watch it.
It's essentially anything goes, any rules. No, there's no rules. Only one winner. That's basically what it is. Tribal combat. This was a match brought on by the elders.
Boy, the elders just
man.
smoke. I see.
Oh God. I don't. Oh man.
So I feel like
I should go first on this
Okay,
one.
okay, good, great.
Oh God, I'm scared. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. I said this to my boy Fred, and I'm gonna say it to you. Um, this is the scariest I've been since WrestleMania. So I picked Roman Reigns to win against Cody, but I was still scared. My heart obviously wanted Roman. My mind was telling me Cody. I went with my heart on that one, and I was obviously right. But oh god, this is the scariest I've been in since then. Um, mm, I'm gonna tell you what my heart is telling me. My heart is saying my tribal chief is gonna come out and remain my tribal chief. My mind is telling me Jay somehow pulls this off, but I'm still going with my heart.
Okay.
I'm going with my tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to defeat Jay Uso in a tribal combat match. Not because he wants to, but because he has to. He has to bring the family back together under his godliness. This is Roman Reigns we're talking about, people. This is the man that has dominated for 3 years, over 1,000 days as the champion. Roman Reigns is going to get this done. He's going to show the world who the man is. Who is the true tribal chief. I don't give a damn what the elders have to say. I don't give a damn. He is Roman Reigns. That's all that needs to be said. Roman Reigns. I'll have more later, but for right now, we're just going to say that. It's Roman Reigns.
Oh boy.
And I do have bonus questions on this, but I'm going to give you the floor first.
Of course you do. I know you do. Okay, so again, this and the last match stressed me out. I wrote this down. I wrote all the matches out first, and then I wrote my picks out, and then I looked at it, and I was like, oh no. Okay, so if you guys have been listening, you know I've been on the Jey Uso bandwagon. I'm like, he has to be the one to do it. But then I looked at this card, and I was like, I need Finn Balor to beat Seth Rollins. And then I looked at Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, and I'm like, I don't think they're going to have 2 title changes for the main titles on one show. Clearly, it has not happened in years since Roman Reigns has been champion for the last 50 years. So clearly, that's not happened. Oh, man. I so many thoughts. I was like, well, if Jay wins and Finn wins, that's a very, Triple H is cooking, man. He's going to do something big and new. But then I'm just like, if anything I've learned in the past few years of being a wrestling fan, it's like sometimes you got to go with the sure thing. And Roman Reigns has been the sure thing for 3 years. And it pains me because I'm like, Jey Uso needs to win, but it's just like I just can't. It's like I want Jey to win, but then I just can't in my mind give it to him now. It just doesn't seem like it's likely, because in that case I feel like if you're gonna have a title change, one of the 2 big titles, it has to be one of them. And then if I picked Finn, then there's no way Jey can win. And then I'm thinking about if Jey does win, we talk about momentum. Like Jey Uso they love him. They are ready for main event Jey Uso. There's just so much. It's like if he wins, then what? Where is he going to go with that next? Is it going to be him and Solo Sikoa? Is Roman Reigns going to continue the feud with him? Now he's going to be in pursuit of Jey Uso. Is Roman Reigns takes a break? Is Jay's title run going to be strong, or is he going to be maybe transitional? There's just so many questions. And as I'm talking through this and listening to you, it's like, man, it's really hard to bet against Roman Reigns. Like, my heart, like you said, my heart is saying one thing and my head is saying another thing. My heart wants Jey Uso to take it. I feel like if you're going to capitalize on something, outside of LA Knight winning the Battle Royal, this would be it. Um, you look at Roman Reigns' title reign. That's one point I wanted to make real quick. I understand a lot of history, a lot of people breaking records, but I also think it's kind of a lot now. It's like you had Bianca being the longest reigning champion of the modern era of Raw, and then you have Gunther, who's to us going to break at the Honky Tonk Man's record. Roman Reigns still has a good while. He's going to be, I think he's number 3 on the list now of longest title reigns. It's like at this point, if he beats Jay, it's like, who's going to do it? Are we going to have to sit and wait for after Cody beats Brock? Like, how are we going to get Cody and Roman back together? There's just so many stories. And I know I'm rambling because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm struggling here. I'm gonna go ahead and just risk it and just put what I wrote on the paper. I put Jey Uso. I know I said all of that. I feel like I can't go back. I feel like I said I talked too much shit about Jey Uso being the one to beat Roman Reigns, to turn around and just backtrack and say he doesn't win. So I know it could happen, but I'm not gonna go back. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I've come too far. I've already said it's not gonna be Cody. I've said too much, so I'm gonna go with Jey Uso. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. If it does, whoa. I'm gonna go with Jay. I know betting against Roman Reigns is stupid, but I don't know. Go Jey Uso. Go Jey Uso.
No, I'm not gonna let you get away with that. No, look.
No.
So look, I don't want to be disrespectful because main event Jey Uso is the fucking man.
Yes.
His story to the level he has gotten from where he was to now has been excellent. I still remember that Hell in a Cell I Quit match, and the growth he has just continued to be on is undeniable. Main event Jey Uso is that he's that dude. I think it's too soon for Jey Uso to beat Roman Reigns. I understand why someone would say, he should be the one to beat Roman. And I can't argue that. I really can't. I mean, if there's anyone more deserving, there's, we made a list, I think, before. It was like, there's really like 3 names that we always, I feel like, circled upon to beat Roman. It was Solo, Cody, and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the 3. I wouldn't be mad at any of those 3 beating him for sure. I just would not. I just don't think I just don't think SummerSlam night is the right time for that to happen. I think Jay, I'll just be honest. I truly believe that someone's going to interfere in this match. And I'm not talking about Solo. I'm not talking about Paul Heyman. I think Jimmy makes his return. But I think Jimmy returns as the right-hand man. I think Jimmy comes back and helps Roman Reigns defeat his brother. And now it's time for Jey Uso to witness his hard times. I would love a feud between Jey Uso and Jimmy. You see, you got to remember that it was Jimmy's injury that elevated Jay.
Yeah.
It's always Jay who seems to be benefiting off of Jimmy. But what has Jimmy gotten out of this? Is Jimmy considered a main eventer? No. Is Jimmy considered a man that can defeat Roman Reigns? No. Is Jimmy anything other than a tag team superstar? No. Now it's time for him to get to that level too. You see, Roman Reigns is a family man. Roman Reigns cares about elevating everyone in his family. It is time for Jimmy to get elevated. You see, because Solo was elevated. Jay was definitely elevated. Even Paul Heyman was elevated because before he was just a manager. He was just an advocate. Now he's a wise man.
Oh boy, okay.
He is a wise man. This is words coming from his own mouth. He was bestowed that honor by the great tribal chief Roman Reigns. Everyone is elevated. It's time for Jimmy to get elevated. And I think Jimmy interferes and calls his brother the match on the side of Roman Reigns, and he becomes the new right-hand man to Roman Reigns. Book it.
First of all, I want to say damn you, because that's a really good point. And I really wish you hadn't let me ramble on before you dropped that on me. Because I totally would have circled back and changed my answer without you knowing. Because now I'm really in doubt about my answer. But I'm going to stick with it because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm just going to stick with it. But I feel like you totally just nuked my answer. So I'm going to do the stupid thing a bit against Roman Reigns. The elders are going to come for me, but that's okay.
You see, the elders know what is up. They want to put the tribal chief in a predicament that it seems that everyone is against him. There's even doubts that Solo may be against him. They've been teasing little things. Him holding the tribal chiefs. What do you call those things? I'm sorry, I forgot the name of them. But his Leia, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They've been teasing little things, but we have to remember this is Roman mother effing Reigns. This Roman Reigns, man.
I know. Oh, you're making me feel worse. Stop.
Roman Reigns is going to defeat him, and that's all you got to know about that. It's Roman Reigns or nothing. That's just truly it, and that's it. Honestly, we could stop right here to end the show. Ding, ding, ding. Samantha Irvin, go ahead and just announce his name, and still.
You pipe that in too.
And still.
Day 1070.
Your tribal chief.
1070.
The reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. But we have a bonus question.
Of course.
And this
you run me into the ground, then you pick me back up to ask me a bonus question. Go ahead. Kick me while I'm down. Go ahead.
The bonus question has to do with family, actually. A very particular member of that family.
Okay.
Because if Jey Uso cannot, the elders sent Jey Uso basically to defeat Roman, right?
Okay.
If Jey can't do it, then the elders have a backup plan. And my question to you is, that backup plan, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, no. I thought we talked about this. I
Will The
thought we.
Rock make an appearance at SummerSlam
No.
on behalf of the elders?
Are the elders just not Roman Reigns fans? Because Mickey said they're really stacking the deck against him. Like,
They stacked the deck against him this time.
I mean,
If
a
if
tribal
they feel
combat.
that
I
Roman
mean,
Reigns is destroying the family, and if Jay can't get it done, they send in Plan B, and there's always a Plan B. That's
no,
Triple
I,
H
I
snap.
don't think. No, I don't
There's
think there
always a
will be that.
Plan B.
No, I don't. No,
You don't think The Rock makes a return?
no, because then for what? Where do you? What's the next big thing we got going here?
We have the next big thing. We
No,
have
in the
the
next.
match that I've always wanted.
So are you gonna do that
Yeah, now
outside of WrestleMania? Is that what you're telling me? 'Cause
no,
we got like 8 months down the
no,
road.
no. This is to let them know you keep fucking up. We got The Rock right here. We got the People's Champion in the wait.
No,
Keep messing up the family.
no. Because
You
if
gonna
you're
get
gonna
you
go
gonna get
through
this
all
work.
of that and bring The Rock,
Yeah.
you might as well be ready to. If you're gonna put that bullet in the chamber, you might as well be ready to fire. Don't bring him out just as like a warning. No, if you're gonna go through all of that, bring him and get ready to use him. No. Now, if this was like Rumble and this happened, then I'd be more inclined to say, okay, I can see that. But this is early August, 8 months before WrestleMania. Put Dwayne back in the box. We're not ready yet.
We're not ready.
No, not yet. I know, like I said, when he does come back, I know I'm gonna have to like send someone to your house to check on you because I know that you will like pass out with happiness. But not yet. Not yet.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to. I had to ask the question. We had to end it on a good note. This is the biggest party of the summer.
You try.
And what's the biggest party of the summer without the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, the Brahma Bull, the People's Champion, The Rock. That's all I gotta say. That's all I wanted to say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was an electrifying prediction show or preview to SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer, or second biggest party if you consider my birthday.
You forget my birthday's in the summertime too, you jerk.
Yes, yours is third.
What?
Yes, yours is third. It's mine, it's SummerSlam, and then it's Sasha because you chose against the tribal chief. Maybe next time you'll learn your lesson.
Don't make me have to bring up the straight facts prediction.
You will learn.
Okay, don't make me, because I was not the first one on this show to bet against Roman Reigns and lose.
You will learn. And I've look, the elders, they got me for that. They got me back, and I will never choose against Roman ever again. I don't care if the match is, if he wins, he loses. I'm still picking him to win. It's Roman Reigns all day. Okay. My tribal chief.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, this was a great show. Sasha killed it in the beginning. She killed it. Well, she literally killed it at the end by picking Jey Uso, but it's okay. Sasha, thank you so much for everything you've done on this episode and just for everything you've done before. I want to give a shout out to Ashley, right? Ashley was her name. Thank you for all the love and support that you showed Sasha in those messages, because believe it or not, just like she said, we do heavily appreciate it, more than you know. Trust me on that. Thank you so much for for your, just for listening, and for everyone else listening. Just thank you so much. We really do appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts. I hope you guys tune in to SummerSlam. Continue to tune into us. We have so much planned for you guys. We have so much more to talk about. And our upcoming episodes are just going to be hot fire on hot fire on hot fire, all led by our tribal chief. So thank you so much. Sasha, do you have any last words for the people?
No, just tune in to SummerSlam this Sunday. I'm not Sunday, it's Saturday. Whoops. This Saturday on Peacock. Gosh, man, I'm just excited. Like you said, this is SummerSlam was always fun. I remember our show, one of our first shows, not our first one, maybe a couple shows down the road when we were doing our old show, we did SummerSlam and how fun that was. So I'm really looking forward to talking about the show afterwards. Just Saturday, get your favorite food, get your favorite drink. Try not to go too heavy on the Terramana. Some people out there. Um, yeah. And just enjoy it. Just zone out and just love wrestling and put everything outside your mind for those couple hours and just have fun. Just live your life for wrestling. Don't worry about the ratings. Don't worry about booking and who's doing this. Just enjoy it and have fun. Just do that. If you couldn't do anything else for us, you can't do it for yourself, do it for your pals Fino and Sasha. Just have fun. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Good. All right, guys. So we're heading out of here. We appreciate everybody for listening. Remember, you can listen to us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We all up there. We're also going to be creating a website soon. So stay tuned for that and check us out when we do drop that. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening. This is episode 8 of Ring Champs. I'm Fino. She's Sasha. We out of here. Peace.
Adios.